Hey guys, welcome back to Trace Your Story with me, Sean. It's been a while, but we're finally doing Trace Your Story again. This time, we got a ton of short cheating stories sent in by you viewers. And honestly, the plot twists and drama are just as insane as our main stories. If you've got any wild stories from your own life or from someone close to you, you can send them straight to traceyourstory@gmail.com. Alright. Instead of dragging this out, let's dive into stories with the most savage plot twist that we've compiled. Without further ado, this is Savage Revenge Stories. Let's start with the first story. Let's go. Alright guys, the first story comes from a sender who asked to be called Rose. She lives in the UK and she's one of our followers. Hey Sean, just call me Rose. I'm a follower of yours from UK. Hey Rose. Hey UK. Actually, I'm originally from Singapore, but I moved to England when I was in high school. I'm 26 now and I actually have a British passport, so I'm not a Singaporean citizen anymore. Okay, noted. I want to tell you about something that I think is absolutely crazy. So, I work for a tech company here in the UK. I've been here for about 2 years now. Well, back in August this year, a new guy suddenly joined the office. Turns out he was also a Singaporean guy who just landed a job here in the UK. So, naturally, I introduced myself to him. Let's call him James. After seeing each other every day for a few weeks, James finally started getting closer to me. He said that it was hard to find someone he connected with. He mentioned that British people weren't very friendly, and they mostly just focused on work. After clocking out, they just disappear, which is true. We got close, started going home together, hanging out, eating, and having fun at his place. Having fun? How? Exactly? Because I'm still innocent. Anyway, let's continue. After a month, we started dating. In September, he took unpaid leave to go back to Singapore for his cousin's wedding. During our long distance, he once sent me a photo of food from a pub, and I noticed a kid's water bottle. I asked him, "Whose is that? Why is there a kid's bottle?" He said it belonged to his nephew. Then I asked for a picture of the kid, but he got really cagey and gave me weird excuses. I wasn't suspicious before, but that immediately made me suspicious. I called him right away, but he rejected the call after just 5 seconds. Then he disappeared for the whole day. That night, I got a WhatsApp message from a new number. This woman wrote, "Hi, I'm James's wife." Oh my God! She said she got my number because their kid was looking through their dad's phone, and she knows we're having an affair. Well, they're busted! She said her name was Jessica, and they had a 3-year-old daughter. I was completely shocked. I told her I had just met him and we had only been dating for a month. James had told me he had just broken up with his girlfriend of 3 years, and that was why he came to the UK. Jessica said that everything James told me was a lie. She also told me she didn't want to blame me. She knew her husband was the one at fault. Then she said, "I need your help. Can you help me? Keep seeing James. Use him however you want. I'm exhausted, but please help me gather evidence of his infidelity. I want a divorce, and I need to get custody and the marital assets." Strangely, I wasn't upset. It was only a few months into our relationship, but I actually felt terrible for his wife. So I agreed to help her. How did they pull that off? What exactly did she mean by use him however you want? Anyway, let's continue. Long story short, James came back to the UK after his leave, and we continued the relationship for another 2 months. Wow! That's quite the long con, a 2-month gig. James's birthday was in October. I asked if we could book a staycation in the most expensive hotel suite in London because I wanted to give him a special surprise. He agreed, and we held a private birthday party just for the two of us. What kind of special surprise was on the agenda? Getting a little spicy here. That night was absolutely wild, just like I had planned. I took advantage of every moment to collect proof. I recorded all our intimate activities anonymously without showing my face. No face, no case. I sent all the evidence to Jessica. In early November, James went back to Singapore for the weekend to celebrate his birthday with his parents. That's what he said anyway. That's clever, James. But man, you must be exhausted going back and forth between the UK and Singapore. Cheating really drains your energy. Okay, moving on. Turns out, Jessica had prepared a surprise birthday party at their house. She invited all of James's best friends, his parents, his siblings, along with their spouses and children. No way, she didn't just invite them for cake, that's a public execution. She set the perfect trap. Right before dinner was served, Jessica played all the videos and chat evidence of James's affair with me. She displayed it for everyone attending. Oh my god. But seriously though, could they just eat dinner first? They must be starving. After that, Jessica filed for divorce. She ended up getting a lot of cash, gold savings, the apartment, the car, and designer luxuries. James was also fired from the same office where I work. Jessica sent all that proof to HR, and James was found to have violated the code of conduct and brought the company into disrepute due to the scandal. Man, that's wild. And well-deserved. Once you have a scandal on your record here, it's nearly impossible to find a new job, especially if you're not a British citizen. James was forced to leave the UK and had to go back to Singapore. He lost his career, his wife, his child, and will live in shame forever in front of his family and friends. And now, Jessica and I are best friends. She even came to the UK recently and bought me my first Lady Dior bag. Woo! From splitting the marital assets to a designer bag. That's awesome, a real win-win. Yep, that's my story. Do you think this could be my new side hustle? You mean becoming an infidelity detective? Honestly, this is the sweetest revenge. Most importantly, congrats on the Lady Dior. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Next! Hi, Sean. I want to share my story. I have a husband, let's just call him Ethan. He works in an office as a senior staff member, and most of his juniors are women. Now, one of the women I want to tell you about is named Chloe. Basically, Ethan and I got married with him contributing virtually nothing. Our luxurious apartment in New York, the reception fees, even the furniture, everything was entirely paid for by my father. Oh, so the girl's side covered everything, huh? Ethan just brought himself to the table. 2 months before the wedding, we agreed to bury the past and leave all our premarital shenanigans behind, starting our married life fresh and serious. But after the first year, Ethan's behavior started to shift. He used to always let me know if he was working late, but now he never does. He started coming home whenever he felt like it. 11 p.m., midnight, sometimes 1 a.m., and even 3 a.m. I was incredibly frustrated. I was in my own house, but I felt like a security guard, just waiting up for my husband. One time, he came home at midnight. When he walked in, he tried to feed me some excuses, traffic jams, the usual nonsense. I replied flatly and sharply, "Oh, come on. Even the worst New York traffic only takes 2 hours. If you left at 7, you should have been home ages ago." Uh-oh. The cracks are starting to show now. Because his behavior was so strange, I knew something was wrong. While he was showering, I checked the notifications on his phone just from the swipe screen. There was a text from Chloe that read, "Thank you, sweetie, for dropping me off and waiting until I got a taxi. Kiss, kiss." My heart immediately sank. Oh man, poor wife. From that point on, I checked my husband's phone constantly for several weeks. From just reading the swipe screen notifications, I eventually managed to unlock his phone. I found proof that Chloe had been brought back to my house several times while I was at work to hook up. In the apartment my own father bought. Man, that's crazy. Bringing his mistress right back to his own wife's apartment. Oh my God! I know a lot of offices have rules against relationships between employees, but that's not a major violation. If I had confronted them, the most they'd get is a written warning for causing a disruption. So, I decided to be patient and gather more evidence first. And do you know what the real kicker was? Tell me! They arranged to check into a hotel during work hours. I found a WhatsApp chat from the hotel receptionist that said, "The earliest you can check in for an early check-in is 1 p.m., sir." That chat was sent to Ethan's phone, and he immediately forwarded it to Chloe. In the chat, they explicitly said they were going to sneak out of the office and had already prepared a coordinated excuse if anyone looked for them. They planned to say they were dealing with a permit or licensing issue at some agency. I immediately took photos of all the evidence. You are so smart. Now that's what I call a strategy. That morning, when my husband left for work, he was still pretending to be innocent and even kissed me on the forehead, but I was ready. As soon as he left, I changed the lock cylinders, the dead bolts, and the inner security chain, every lock on the door. Ooh, she went all in. Savage mode. On. Next, I prepared 2 large boxes. The first box contained all of Ethan's belongings, plus a scarf or makeup item that I was certain belonged to Chloe as physical evidence she'd been in the house. I labeled this box, "Package for Ethan and Chloe, the homewrecker who likes to hook up in the wife's house." The second box contained all the chat evidence and photos of the early check-ins during work hours that I had printed out and photographed. I labeled this second box, "Evidence of Ethan the expert cheater, misuse of company time for hotel rendezvous." Whoo! This is extreme, but it is so satisfying. While I was meeting with HR, his office colleagues kept passing back and forth in the hallway just to eavesdrop and get a look at my sweet box creation. Right after that, I immediately left for a vacation out of town. I made sure no one could find me. And my husband, he went back to his mother's leaky, run-down house. Oh, wow. You really went there with the in-laws' house description, huh? Anyway, continue. Ethan and Chloe immediately submitted their resignations before they could be questioned by the board of directors. They never showed up at the office again after the day the boxes arrived. And after all that, do you know what Ethan's mom and sister did? They sent me a list demanding the return of the following items: 3 pots, 3 serving bowls, 3 ladles, a dozen plates, a dozen spoons, a bathroom scrub brush, and Ethan's car accessories. That's all the assets they had anyway. So, yeah, I sent everything back after my vacation. It wasn't a problem. I can totally live without that stuff anyway. That's it for my story, Sean. Thank you. That's insane. This husband is completely shameless. The house belongs to his wife, and he brings his affair right there. And as for the sender, you are savage and elegant. Smart, tactical, and meticulous in gathering evidence. All right, guys, that wraps up Trace Your Story for this episode. Thank you so much to all the senders who were brave enough to share the craziest, most savage, and most painful stories of your lives. May good karma always follow those who do good, and may those who cause pain learn a deserved lesson. My apologies if there were any wrong words or if you weren't completely satisfied with the show today. What do you guys think? Out of the stories we heard today, which one made you scream the loudest? Let us know in the comments below. That's it from me. Catch you next time for more Trace Your Story.